The picture of Dorian is gray, and it's pretty wild. Hey everybody, I'm Paul Boyer. Welcome to the Mad Money Machine, episode 11 for March 11, 2014. Coincidence?
Broadcasting from the Bitcoin bunker, 6 blocks below, brandishing the blockchain to fight good versus evil. This is Bitcoin versus the man. This is the battle of the century. This is the Mad Money Machine.
Woo! What a week that's been, huh? We found out who Satoshi Nakamoto was. Or, no, maybe we didn't. Well, we'll try to figure out whether Dorian is Satoshi, and we'll look at some other tools, some other merchants, and some other altcoins, all here on the Mad Money Machine. Leah Goodman, the reporter with Newsweek magazine, walks into the Nakamoto Tavern. Leah says to the man behind the bar, Dorian, "A glass of Sapporo, please." "I am no longer involved in that, and I cannot discuss it," he says, dismissing all further queries with a swat of his left hand. "It's been turned over to other people. They are in charge of it now. I no longer have any connection." Leah says, well, people think you are the bartender." Dorian says, "I cannot talk about that. I'm not connected with it anymore." At which point she takes a picture of him standing in front of the Sapporo tap and posts it and a photo of the front of the tavern on the internet. People come from all over the world asking Dorian for a glass of Sapporo. But he says he's never worked for the Sapporo company and doesn't know anything about that wine. Meanwhile, a sign appears on the front of the door of the tavern saying, "The bartender is not Dorian Nakamoto." Can I summarize it as short as possible? Probably not. Woke up Thursday morning, March 6th, 6 a.m. Do my normal see what's in the news of Bitcoin. That is, go to Reddit/r/Bitcoin. And there at the top of the page, the hot page, Newsweek says Satoshi Nakamoto is ... Satoshi Nakamoto. And it points to a Newsweek article written by Leah Goodman. And it goes on, it's about a 4,000-word article, goes on, saying that she has found who the inventor of Bitcoin is. And she goes and talks to him, very briefly. It took me about 2 hours to read this article, because I'd read a paragraph and then I'd have to go back to Reddit and see what somebody else was saying about it, or I'd have to go back and check Google News to see if anybody was out on his front lawn yet. I was checking Google Maps. Somebody had already pointed out where his house was on the Google Maps. And, it was interesting to see if this was really the guy. And it turns out we still don't really know. Some people are very adamantly of the opinion that he is not. Some people, like Leah Goodman, says that he is. Well, she spent about 2 months doing some forensic analysis along with her team. I guess going through the immigration records, looking for people named Satoshi Nakamoto. Found a guy in California. He actually changed his name in 1972 to Dorian Prentice Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, is it a coincidence that in 1972 a book came out from Prentice Hall entitled Sociology Through Literature? And in there is a reference to Oscar Wilde, who wrote a book in 1891 called A Picture of Dorian Gray. The central premise of the story of The Picture of Dorian Gray is that the beautiful Dorian Gray remains, as we now say, forever young, while his hidden portrait ages and grows increasingly horrifying, a vivid representation of the elegant sensualist's every sin and evil act. It was Oscar Wilde's only novel, and it raises several seriously troubling questions, one of which is, If one could live a life of absolute freedom, would the result be happiness or a nightmare? Well, continuing the story, she claims to have found him. She talks to his relatives. She contacts him and talks to him about his trains, because that's how she got his email address, was through a trains magazine, website or magazine. And I guess they gave it to her, perhaps through some social engineering. And so she contacts Dorian, asks him about trains, and they sort of talk for a while. And then one time she asks him about Bitcoin. And the conversation suddenly stops. Well, she says she's going to show up at his house. I guess she shows up and knocks on the door. Nobody answers. She says she leaves a business card and a bit card at his door. Now, a bit card is from Germany, and it's a Bitcoin card with a QR code on it. I don't know why she wanted to do that, and she didn't really explain why she did that. But eventually, she comes back, and she's greeted by Dorian and 2 police officers at his driveway. And she asks him, Are you the inventor of Bitcoin? He says, I am no longer involved in that, and I cannot discuss it. It has been turned over to other people. They are in charge of it now. I no longer have any connection. That is what she reports that he said. And the 2 police officers confirm that is what he said. Her last question to him was, if you are in any way not connected, you need to tell me, and you need to tell me now. He said, I cannot do that. Well, Newsweek magazine, this was their first print edition in a while. I guess they're back in print. And so they wanted to have a big scoop on their revised print edition. They certainly got one with this. Later that morning, after the Newsweek article appeared online, a lot of reporters showed up at his house. He accepted an offer from one reporter to take him to lunch, get him some sushi. It was a reporter from the Associated Press. They drove around a while in a slow car chase by the other reporters. Ended up at the AP offices, where they interviewed him for 2 hours, gave him his free lunch. I've seen some snippets of the interview. They videoed it. He denies anything to do with Bitcoin. He says things like, I have no involvement with that company, Bitcoin. Or he calls it Bitcorn at one point. In the article, Ms. Goodman states that his relatives say that he would very strongly deny any involvement in Bitcoin. Now, since Satoshi hasn't been heard from since early 2011, it's not surprising that Satoshi doesn't want to be discovered. Later that evening, at one of the online forums that Satoshi used to communicate on, under the account Satoshi Nakamoto, Satoshi logged in and said, I am not Dorian Nakamoto. A lot of people are saying, see, that proves that Dorian is not Satoshi, because Satoshi logged in and said, I'm not Dorian. Well, Dorian's background does seem to have the credentials that he could be technically gifted. His relatives say that he is brilliant. He does have a computer background. He likes to dabble in model trains. One of the biggest defenses that people are saying that he is not Satoshi is his poor English. They've looked online at writings from Dorian. I think he has some Amazon reviews of products and things and some other letters that they've found of his. And his English is not up to par, let's say, and it's certainly not as good of English as the Satoshi Nakamoto email that we have from starting at November of 2008. Now, of course, I can understand his white paper being in good English. He could certainly have had help in, translating broken English into fluid English. As far as Satoshi Nakamoto's early emails, though, compared to Dorian Nakamoto's emails, that's a harder one to reconcile. But what's also interesting is that just 2 days before the Newsweek story came out, Dorian Nakamoto appeared in his city council asking for a new stop sign. Let's listen and see how good his English is.
If you would just state your name, please.
Yes, my name is Dorian Nakamoto, and I've been in residence with Temple City since 1967. I love this city very much. I often left the city for a while because of work situation. But what I would like to say today is that I'd like to thank all of you, council members, to let us hear what your plan is and let us have time to voice our wishes and requests. My request today is to make the intersection of Longdon and Encinitas safe. I addressed this before on your previous meetings, but I felt like it was felt on deaf ear.
So it's not too bad. It's a few articles, A's and the's are missing here and there. So, no, not too bad. It continues on for about another 3 minutes and then finishes up.
Request would be to put the stop sign at the Loma Street on Longdon.
We can definitely have Director, Acting City Manager Tracy Haas look into that. And we have if you could fill out one of the forms, if they have any questions, they can call you and look into that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Now, doesn't he sound like a nice guy? He was in front of the city council. He wasn't shaking his fist, demanding that this is endangering children. We must put a stop sign here. He was just asking that they look into it. He's concerned about the neighborhood, and he took the time to do some of his civic duty. Very impressive. So I don't know whether Dorian is Satoshi or not. One of the best things I read about it, someone wrote, if you believe that Dorian is Satoshi, you have to accept that there are still a lot of things which don't really add up. And conversely, if you believe that Dorian is not Satoshi, then you at the very least have to wonder at the astonishing number of coincidences that Goodman has uncovered. So the picture that we have of whether Dorian is Satoshi is neither black nor white. No, the picture of Dorian is gray. In other news, the Mt. Gox debacle continues as forensics sleuths scour the blockchain to try to find out where the Gox coins are. And the good folks out at humint.is have come up with a proposal to try to help people get some of their funds returned through the Gox Coin Initiative. David Johnston, Adam B. Levine, Wendell Davis, and Peter C. Earl. They're working to establish a proof of Goxed protocol by which any holder of a verified claim against Mt. Gox can cause the creation of Gox coins in the amount of their verified claim denominated in Bitcoin. They're working in conjunction with MountGoxRecovery.com to gather claims to be verified via the Japanese legal process. And they have a sequence of steps of how would this work. First, they'd need to obtain Gox's account database. They would need to recover Gox account balances and verify to ensure that all malleable transaction double withdrawals are accounted for. Then they would issue new user-created assets using the master protocol. They'd create a page where the asset can be verifiably claimed by Gox customers, and then a MasterCoin wallet that supports trading in the Gox Bitcoin pair would need to be developed. They say the first sticking point is obtaining accurate records that allow individuals to claim their balance using some kind of verifiable, non-public information. Could be best be done with full cooperation from Mt. Gox, which we'll see whether they get that or not. And I sure hope that the folks that had large stakes of Bitcoin at Mt. Gox can see a large amount of their funds returned to them. Be very good news for Bitcoin. You can find more about that at humint.is/Goxcoin. time now for Satoshi's Corner.
サトシのコーナー。
Well, speaking of Satoshi, I've been going for the past couple of weeks through his original paper entitled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, first published in late 2008. The introduction sets the stage for why we need to get rid of third-party trust. Section 2 we did last week was transactions. Talked about what an electronic coin was and how that coin gets transferred to other users, and the big problem of making sure that that transaction hasn't been double spent. Well, Section 3 is very short. It's about 2-3 sentences long. Section 3, timestamp server. In it, Satoshi writes, the solution we propose begins with a timestamp server. A timestamp server works by taking a hash of a block of items to be timestamped and widely publishing the hash, such as in a newspaper or Usenet post. And here he has footnotes 2 through 5. He continues, the timestamp proves that the data must have existed at the time, obviously, in order to get into the hash. Each timestamp includes the previous timestamp in its hash, forming a chain, with each additional timestamp reinforcing the ones before it. And that's the end of that section, Section 3, timestamp server. He refers to 4 footnotes, 2 through 5. First one is a design of a secure timestamping service with minimal trust requirements. Second one is how to timestamp a digital document, 1991. The third one is improving the efficiency and reliability of digital timestamping, 1993. And the fourth one is secure names for bit strings, 1997. Most of these papers are under tight copyright control, and you have to have access to the journals to be able to read them, unless you can find them somehow on Google. Let's pull something out of the Madman Machine Bitcoin Tool Crib. Well, this tool falls very much in line with Satoshi's section number 3, timestamp server. It's proof of existence. Have you ever needed to have a document notarized? Why do you do that? Well, it's to prove that you signed it and at a certain time. With the technologies of the blockchain, a lot of those features can be performed using Bitcoin. And one way to do that is go to www.proofofexistence.com. Now note, if you just go to proofofexistence.com, you get a 404 error. So yes, this harkens back to 1995, I guess, when we had to put www in front of things. But what you can do at www.proofofexistence.com is select any file on your computer. It could be a document, it could be some source code file, it could be an image, and you choose the file. They say it will not be uploaded to their server. It simply calculates the cryptographic hash right there in your browser. Now, once you've done this, it directs you to a page that says, would you like this hash to be embedded in the Bitcoin blockchain? If so, please pay the half millibit fee. And that fee is necessary in order to get it processed by the miners of the blockchain network. You can add a tip for the www.proofofexistence.com people if you wish. And why not? So this, in effect, is a time-stamping service. 2 other things it could be used for is demonstrating that you owned the data, because you can publicly reveal the digest. And then if there's a conflict, you can prove that you had the data that generates the digest. Also, you can check for document integrity. You can store proof of the document contents and then later re-upload it, and the system will only recognize it if it is completely and fully the same document. The slightest change, and it'll recognize it as being different. So Also, www.proofofexistence.com. One of the other cool uses of Bitcoin. And like the best things in life, it's free. Well, almost.
The best things in life are free. You can keep it for the birds and bees. Now give me money. Now give me money. That's what I want.
Well, on the last episode of the Mad Money Machine, I asked you that if you were listening to this show live on KCAA Radio 1050 AM in Southern California, that you please call me right then and there. Just give your name and a time that you called. Unfortunately, for some reason, here's what the Mad Money Machine sounded like in the 2 p.m. slot out of KCAA Radio 1050 AM. Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and Kittycoin walk into the Mount Gox Tavern. Bitcoin orders a beer. Oh, jeez. It sounds like that guy's had way too many beers to me. So I don't know what happened there. I don't think it was me, because later, due to the fact that Let's Talk Bitcoin, normally in the 7 p.m. slot at KCAA Radio, they had a scheduling delay, and so they were going to release their episode a little bit later, which meant they put Mad Money Machine in at the 7 o'clock spot as well. And lo and behold, it played at the correct speed. So I asked people to call in. Now I actually got a call from somebody 1 hour before the show aired in California. How'd they do that? Well, the podcast is released. I got a call from several people days later saying, I'm from California and I'm calling like you asked. But I also got this one call from someone listening right then and there on KCAA Radio.
It's 2:45 and I'm in Chino. The program comes over real staticky. Anyway, I'm not interested in Bitcoins. He said to call, so I called. Thank you.
Isn't that great? Somebody listens to the show and they don't even care about Bitcoin. I think that's hilarious. Well, I'm going to give you one more chance. Southern California listeners to KCAA Radio, 1050 AM. Get your phones ready. I'm going to give you the number to call, and call right now. You don't have to say anything, really. Just maybe say what time it is or something. You can ask a question if you want to. Here's the number, 571-366-7121. 571-366-7121. 571-366-7121. Dial that. I want to hear if you're calling and listening on the radio.
Listen to Paul Boyer's Mad Money Machine every Tuesday on KCAA Radio 1050 AM and on letstalkbitcoin.com.
Let's play Mad Money Machine Millibit Merchant of the Week. Well, somehow the number of pages at spendbitcoins.com has gone up from 195 to 306, all in 1 week. So I had to go out and get another die, this one with 306 sides on it. And I'll roll that die, and I'll roll the 10-sided die, and we'll find the Bitcoin Merchant of the Week out at spendbitcoins.com. So here we go. And the number is page 253, and the item on that page is number 4. And that takes us to Squiggle Case Cell Phone Cases. Website is squigglecase.com. Now, the neat thing about this merchant is right at the very top in their banner, where it says Squiggle Case, they have a big gold banner that says, now accepting Bitcoins. And what you can buy at Squiggle Case are cases for your iPhone 4, your iPhone 5, your iPad, your Galaxy S3, your Galaxy S4, your Galaxy Note 1 and 2, your iPad sleeve, and Galaxy tabs. I'm looking at some now. There's one with Banksy Balloon Girl. There's a Han Solo Carbonite. There's a Keep Calm and Sparkle On. There's one that looks like Pokemon Game Boy. A Keep Calm and Call Batman iPhone case. And a Doctor Who TARDIS case. They all look to be pretty well discounted from their regular prices. So select the case you're interested in, click Add to Cart, and eventually through the order clicking process, you'll be taken to a screen where it says Pay in Bitcoin, which is actually millibits, and it goes through BitPay. So congratulations, squigglecase.com. You're the Madman Machine Millibit Merchant of the Week. Time now for the Madman Machine Altcoin of the Week. You know, I really should come up with a randomized process now of picking altcoins because, you know, once I get past the top 10, how do I really pick one? What is interesting to note this week is that Aurora Coin did dip back down to third place among the mineable coins, those being Bitcoin, Litecoin, and now Aurora Coin. So we might as well do number 4, right? And according to the statistics with our good folks at coinmarketcap.com, number 4 has a market cap of $70 million. The current price for the coin is $3.30. The total supply of these coins is about 21 million, and the 24-hour volume is about $250,000 worth. The number 4 altcoin is Peercoin, the secure and sustainable crypto coin. Why Peercoin? Peercoin's original innovation is the proof-of-stake/proof-of-work hybrid system. Like other cryptocurrencies, initial coins can be mined, but the core network is maintained by coin holders rather than the fastest pool. They say it has increased security because maintaining the network through the hybrid proof-of-work, proof-of-stake algorithm reduces the risk of the selfish miner flaw, 51% attacks, and the block bloating that have been used to exploit other currencies. And they claim energy and cost efficiency because maintaining the network requires far less energy than generating hardware-intensive proof-of-work hashes. Proof-of-stake also does away with the $1 billion tax on the Bitcoin network through proof-of-work blocks. You can find out more about Peercoin at peercoin.net, peercoin.net. And let me see if you need to put www out in front of that or not. Nope, it still works without www. Welcome to 2004. Congratulations, Peercoin. You're the Madman Machine Altcoin of the Week. And speaking of altcoins, have you gone out to ltbcoin.com yet? Yes, it's a soft launch, but you can go out and sign up. I got an account there. My name is Paul, and you can read all about this new network token that the good folks at Let's Talk Bitcoin are creating to support content creation all about Bitcoin and the listeners. Go to ltbcoin.com and sign up. Let's play around to the world's favorite game, Guru Roulette. I've replaced the numbers on a roulette wheel with the names of Bitcoin gurus. I'll spin the wheel and roll the marble, and for the selected guru, give it a little background on their Bitcoin philosophy. So here we go. And the winner this time on Madman Machine number 11 is Jimmy Wales. Jimmy Donald Jimbo Wales was born August 7th, 1966. That's 5 years and 3 days after Barack Obama. I had a listener write in to me, says, I'm a new listener, I enjoy your show. What is this reference to Barack Obama? I said, it doesn't mean anything at all. But, you know, if somebody is born exactly 10 years before Barack Obama, then perhaps we could reference that as 10BO. Well, Jimmy Wales is an American internet entrepreneur, best known as the co-founder and promoter of the online nonprofit encyclopedia Wikipedia, from which I'm reading his Wikipedia entry. He was born in Huntsville, Alabama, where he attended Randolph School, earned his bachelor's and master's degrees in finance. Well, looky what else we've got here on the Bitcoin Reddit today. It says, hello from Jimmy Wales of Wikipedia. He says, the account Jimmy Wales 1. So I set up a personal account at Coinbase to play around with Bitcoin. I thought I'd buy and sell some and try to spend on real-world things, etc. I've been watching Bitcoin for a long time, of course, and thought it passed due to test it as a consumer. How hard it is, how confusing it is, etc. Anyway, I mentioned this on Twitter, and a guy asked me for my Bitcoin address, and he gives it. And last night, a bunch of people got all excited and sent me some Bitcoin. Obviously, I'm going to cash that all out in a few days and send it onward to the Wikimedia Foundation. So if you all want to keep doing that, I'm okay with it. And he goes on to talk about how he's still in the learning process. He says that people noticed that the coins have moved out of his Bitcoin address. He says he didn't do that, but they think it's just the fact that Coinbase was moving it off into cold storage, ice cold storage. And one of the top replies is from Coinbase Reese. It says, hi Jimmy, Reese from Coinbase here. Great questions. In most clients, sending Bitcoin to an address will leave the payment at that location until the owner spends it again. Coinbase is a little different because it's a hosted wallet. This means you can use Bitcoin addresses, donation buttons, and even emails to receive payments into your account there. Once the Bitcoins arrive, they are moved off the address itself into the website's hot wallet for security and privacy concerns. We eventually end up storing more than 97% of funds offline. When you get sent a Bitcoin payment, you'll see it moved in the blockchain. This is normal. So the best way to check your wallet's balance is the total shown at the top of every page and the transaction page. We're glad to see Wikimedia Foundation interested in accepting Bitcoin donations. Remember that when receiving funds, you'll also have the option to immediately lock in the USD conversion rate at Coinbase if you'd rather not hold the Bitcoin. This can help avoid fluctuations in market price and still maintain an innovative channel by which your supporters can contribute. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at support@coinbase.com and we'll certainly help. And Jimmy Wales replies, that's good to know. What are the typical costs associated with the USD conversion rate? Is there a fee around that? And what is your bid-ask spread on converting it in each direction? This is normally the largest cost in conversions. And Tony replies that BitPay does conversion for free for charity organizations. Another reply says they even have a Bitcoin to Wikimedia donation page since 2012. And Coinbase Reese replies, also good questions. He says the conversion rate to change between Bitcoin and US dollars is 1%. We still want anyone on the fence to be able to take a test drive, though. For merchants and organizations accepting donations, we waive these fees on the first $1 million in payments. Secondly, similar to exchanges, the buy-sell spread is kept to a minimum. It's possible to check this data in real time at coinbase.com/charts. And third, for those who want to accept Bitcoin but exchange to US dollars, we made a resource page that describes exactly how this works. Coinbase.com/docs/merchant_tools/payouts. He continues that I can definitely understand the questions about bid-ask, especially if larger amounts are involved. To make sure we completely answer your questions beyond the detail of a Reddit reply, I'll make sure the team reaches out to you on this for more specifics. Reddit is really a cool resource. And I can understand people might still want to use bitcointalk.org. I just find it a lot more cumbersome to use myself. Well, congratulations, Jimmy Wales. You're the guru on Mad Money Machine, episode 11.
You're listening to Paul Boyer's Mad Money Machine.
Also in the news this week, buried way behind the headlines of Satoshi Nakamoto's outing, is this article from Brian Cohen, frequent author at letstalkbitcoin.com. He writes this time at ecommercebytes.com, eBay files patent application for Bitcoin currency exchanger. He references the patent application, called a system and method for managing transactions in a digital marketplace. He provides the following extract. We have created a system for digital currency processing. In example embodiments, the transaction request indicating an amount in a first currency and a desired second currency is received by the currency module. A non-exhaustive and example list of currencies capable of being exchanged may include frequent flyer miles, loyalty and reward points, that is, credit card reward points, hotel loyalty points, retail loyalty points, virtual currency, cash, bitcoins, Facebook credits, eBay bucks, cash equivalent currency, that is, gifts, cards, traveler's checks, cashier's checks, and any other form of currency. The eBay filing further details that the currency module is configured to manage exchange of digital currency. Accordingly, the currency module allows a user to trade from one form of currency to another form of currency. In one embodiment, one of these forms of currency being traded is cash. The digital currency may be used to pay for real-world financial obligations, that is, bills, as well as for virtual world obligations. And Brian talks about how he wrote an article in 2002, reaching eBay global markets with the help of PayPal multiple currencies, where he explained that in November 2002, PayPal announced that its users could send and receive multiple currencies. He continues later that PayPal has the ability to become a trusted Bitcoin wallet, and people would be willing to pay good Bitcoin money for such a service. Basically, just like you wouldn't keep your entire life savings in your everyday wallet, users of Bitcoin shouldn't keep their entire Bitcoin savings online. An elegant, trusted cold storage, that is offline solution, is needed, and I hope PayPal is chiseling away at the problem. And he mentions that over at Let's Talk Bitcoin, he talked about Alcatel-Lucent's vault-to-wallet transfer system. I'll have a link to Brian's article with more details about eBay possibly allowing the use of Bitcoin. You can find that link in the show notes for Mad Money Machine episode 11. Let's take a minute to look at the market for millibits. According to blockchain.info, the 24-hour average price of millibits is 62 cents. The total number of millibits in circulation, 12.45 billion. That equals a market cap of $7.73 billion. Average time between blocks, 8.62 minutes. The total rewards per block, $15,000, $525. And the transaction fees per block average at $87. According to bitcoinity.org/markets, the Bitstamp price, the high last week was 71 cents and the low was 60.5 cents. That's your Mad Money Machine Millibit Market Minute. I want to thank you so very much for tuning into the Mad Money Machine this week. This is Paul Boyer saying it takes money to make money and it takes millibits to make a Mad Money Machine. I'll see you next Tuesday. In the meantime, buy some Bitcoin, spend some Bitcoin, donate some Bitcoin, and then replenish your Bitcoin. You can contact me, email bitcoin@madmoneymachine.com, and Twitter, Mad Money Machine. And to pad out the balance of the hour on this show, I'm going to play some music from musicalley.com, starting with the song that I use for the Tool Crib background music, Theory in Motion's Money. Thanks so much. See you next Tuesday.
The best things in life are free. You can keep it for the birds and bees. Now give me money. Now give me money, 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 money. That's what I want. 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 Your loving give me a thrill. And your loving don't pay my bills. Give me money. Give me money. That's what I want. 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 Best things in life are free. You can keep it for the birds and bees. Now give me money. Now give me money. That's what I want. 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 Now give me money. That's what I want.
Continuing now with PodSafe music from the Reverse Engineers, this is Sunshine with the Shade. If it sounds like the fix to you, well, it does to me too.
Another long night till the sunrise. Could use some sunshine in the morning. Another mistake in the making. What's this trip worth taking? Could use some sunshine in the morning. Where's the silver in this lining? There's always sunshine with the shade. Where's the dawn to end this darkness? There's always dry times to end a hard and endless rain. Was the wrong girl at the right time. Another mistake in the making. No trip worth taking. Could use some real love in the morning. Someone's starlight is the sunshine. They wish upon our sun in the nighttime. It's all been uncovered. There's some of them in us and us in them. It's all been discovered. There's no need to mourn for anyone. Sunlight with the shade. There's always sunshine 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 with the shade.
Continuing now our PodSafe Music Padathon here on the Mad Money Machine with another one of my favorites from MusicAlley.com. This is Desirati with Just Believe.
Nothing comes easy, living is hard. Don't run away, don't fight, baby. We can go steady, we can stand still, take our time, get up that hill, believe in something, just believe, just believe. Just believe. Some days are better than others, some never end. Keeping it all together, I fall apart now and then. Just knowing there's something bigger than me is all I need. Just believe, just believe, just believe. Love comes your way when you need it the most. Don't turn your back, just believe, just believe. Oh, just believe, just
All right, how about one from Blake Morgan, authorized cover of Maybe I'm Amazed.
Maybe I'm amazed at the way you love me all the time. Maybe I'm afraid of the way I love you. Maybe I'm amazed at the way you pulled me out of time and hung me
Thanks once again for joining me on the Shortened Mad Money Machine episode 11 for March 11th, 2014. I look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday. If you have any feedback, let me know. Bitcoin at madmoneymachine.com. If you like the show or anything about the show, tweet it out at madmoneymachine.com and let your friends know about the show. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next Tuesday. In the meantime, listen to all the other Let's Talk Bitcoin Network shows at letstalkbitcoin.com.